about this all morning. Ja Morant leading the Grizzlies to victory over Minnesota last night. Big come-from-behind win, 111-109. Morant made the game-winning layup with 1 second left. He led all scorers with 30 points as Memphis takes a 3-2 series edge. We are now joined by First Things First co-host Chris Broussard. Chris, good morning, good morning. What is your biggest takeaway from the Grizzlies' comeback last night?
Well, my biggest takeaway was that Ja Morant has it. He has it. Look, we knew he had skills. We knew he had athleticism. We knew he was acrobatic and electrifying. But you guys know, with young players, you know, they come in, the young stars. They'll score 28 on a Wednesday night in January in Detroit. They'll average 20-something in the regular season and look good. But you really don't know if they've got the heart, the fortitude, the basketball character it takes in the big moments and on the big stage until they do it. You have to see them on that stage. We've all seen guys run from the basketball and not want it in those moments. And Ja Morant wanted it. Ja Morant was not having a great series. He scored 27 points in the previous 2 games, 11 in the game, game 4. And even in this game, he had missed 15 of his first 20 shots. But when they were on the verge of going down 3-2 and maybe losing this series, he just took over. And he wanted it. He scored 18 in the fourth quarter. He scored their last 13 points. And what impressed me the most was that after going 2 for 7 from the foul line in the first 3 quarters, Ja Morant stepped up there, and he's a good foul shooter, 75%. But he stepped up there and hit 9 of 10 free throws in the clutch. You know, sometimes you can make a desperation shot when you're not thinking, you have nothing to lose because nobody thinks you're going to make it. But when you're on the foul line, you have to think about it. You have to wrestle with your own mental demons or what does it mean if I miss this shot and pressure. And he handled it. So Ja Morant told me that he has it. He's not afraid of the moment. You saw the great move, the great layup at the end of the game to win it. That was my biggest takeaway from it. And look, I still think this is a series, guys. I think Minnesota wins game 6, and then we have an epic game 7. But win or lose for Memphis, I think they'll win in 7. Win or lose, though, this is good for them. Because you have to go through these types of tough series to really get used to playoff basketball. So my biggest takeaway is that Ja has the ice in his veins, and that's going to be good for them going forward.
I can't disagree with you, Chris, but my biggest takeaway is that Minnesota is showing their youth, their inexperience, and just being dumb. They give up 220. They gave up a 26-point lead in Game 3 in the first half. They gave up a 25-point lead in the second half, and they lose that game. Chris, this series should be over. If Minnesota can close, this series should be over. This should have been last night. Minnesota should be moving on, getting ready for 2. So they'd be playing, who they play, Golden State? No, they would play Dallas. They would play Dallas.
Golden State.
No, it would be Golden State.
It would be Golden State, okay.
Yeah. 2-7. Yes, Golden State.
So they should be moved. They should be getting ready. Minnesota theoretically should be getting, because I believe Golden State closes out tonight, should be getting ready for Golden State.
I agree.
And then, Chris, you remember Game 4? They had the big lead, and they made it a lot closer than what it should. I told Skip yesterday, said, why do you think Memphis is going to, because Minnesota will do something dumb? They got a 13-point lead. And what do they do all of a sudden? All of a sudden, somebody says, if I hit a shot, that's going to put us up 20. And if I hit a 3, that'll put us up 30, and the game will be over. So now they just come down, start jacking up shots. Karl Anthony Towns early in the shot clock shoots a one-legged Dirk Nowitzki. Turn the ball over, 23 turnovers. And I'm like, do y'all understand how that you guys should be suffocating Memphis right now, but you giving them life support because y'all keep doing these same things? 13-point lead, and the next thing you know, it's 7. They get it back to 11, and the next thing you know, Memphis say, man, we only down by 3. We got 2 minutes to go. We right here in this game. Anthony Edwards reminded me of Tony Romo last night. Tony Romo would do something spectacular, have Skip Bayless dancing in the living room.
I would.
And the next thing you know, he's on the floor.
He threw it to the Broncos.
And that's what Anthony Edwards did to me last night. After Chris Finch draws up one of the great play designs out of a timeout, guy splits it, back picks him, corner pocket, boom.
Beautiful.
Then he turns around.
Pass.
1 minute later, tries to go for the steal on the high.
I'm going for the throat, man.
Chris, he goes for the steal on the high side, gives Ja a direct path to the basket with 4 seconds. Knowing Ja, if you watch Ja, go watch him. A lot of his highlights is the up and under with the left hand.
Yep.
That's his play. And you give him an opportunity to do his play in the last seconds of the game. I just don't get why. If you play that straight up, Ja elevates, hits a 25-footer. Coach, I don't know what you want me to do, Coach. I played him as well as I did. Hey, the guy elevated, hit a 3-pointer on me. Boom, good, it happens. It's just kind of like the Ray Allen. Ray Allen backpedaling, Skip, you just don't foul him. You're like, why would you foul him? If the guy backpedaling hits for a 22.3, oh, well. I just don't get it. It's plays like that. And then you allow 18 rebounds in the fourth quarter, 10 of them offensively. From one guy had 10 rebounds. Brandon Clark had 10 rebounds, 7 offensive. Ja was sensational. But you know when you get big leads late in ball game, Chris, the other team's got to do something because there is no 13-point play to get you back in the game right then and there. A team has to play really, really bad to methodically let you chip away and catch them at the finish line.
Okay, I hear everything both of you just said. Let me preface my remarks by saying that game last night was as electrifying an NBA playoff game as you will ever watch. I was just thrown over here and rolling on the floor over there. It was one thing after another. But now I will personalize it, Chris, to reiterate. Silly me, I picked Memphis to win the West. And you just brought up Golden State. It looks like they're turning back into Golden State right before your very eyes.
Right.
And I will be the first to admit, I do not love my pick of the Memphis Grizzlies because they have not looked for a second like the Memphis that I knew and loved going into this series.
Right.
You are correct, Mr. Sharp. Minnesota should be cruising on to the next round. And my biggest takeaway from last night is when I least expected it, Ja turned back into Ja. And Chris, I ended the show yesterday by saying, Ja, no more premature celebrating after game 2 and 3. No more social posting, no more shaming of Carl Anthony. Just go walk the talk for once. Just go back it up on the floor because you're that good and you haven't been that good yet. Chris, I was to the point of calling him Ja Durant, as in Ja was unraveling nearly as badly as Kevin Durant unraveled against Boston. Where are you? Who are you? What happened to you? So I remain shell-shocked that my Memphis Grizzlies survived last night because I don't know exactly how they did it. You want to say, well, it's more Minnesota's fault than anything that the home team did. But I'm going to reiterate, with 9:33 left in the game, Carl Anthony strokes a 3 like it's a free throw and just rips it as clean as you can rip it. It looks like just shrugging like, well, what do you expect? I'm Carl Anthony Towns. And that put them up 11. And I'm thinking, no, I'm sorry, that's 13 at that point. 13. And I'm saying, it's done. You're cooked like Memphis barbecue. You're done. And then Carl Anthony gets fouled on a 3-point shot with 6:53 left, and he goes up there and just goes boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden it goes back to 11, and I'm saying, you're cooked like Memphis barbecue. There's no way you're going to come back. And all Ja did over the last 6 minutes was score 16 of his 18 fourth quarter points. 16 points? And again, you can discredit Minnesota or you can credit Ja, but he turned into that dude. He's got the it factor, and he is a superstar on the rise.
Chris, before you go, we talked about the dunk that got Ja going. You know what got him going? Pat Bell hit that left and did that right there. And from that point on, Ja took the game over. But once Pat Bell talking about he walking up the court,
that's when he scored 13 straight.
And then Ja went right down and scored. He did it right back.
And he did it again. And he did it again. He did it 7, 8 more times because he ended up scoring the last 13 points for the Memphis Grizzlies. See, Pat Bell, leave people alone.
And yet I cannot let this go without mentioning Brandon Clark, because you want to talk about the unsung MVP of the whole playoffs? He has saved their bacon or their barbecue again and again with fourth quarter rebounds and shots.
Yeah.
He makes shots too, because he just took the game over down the stretch of 2 fourth quarters that they barely survived in. And then if we could quickly see what happened last night, my little man, Tyus Jones, I love him, and I consider him a clutch shooter, but with 107 left, he misses a three, and this is the play of the game, maybe the play of the season.
Yeah.
Tyus from Ja gets, no, it's actually from Bain, gets the open look. You got to make that foul, and look who back tips it. Whew, back taps it right to Ja, and then to your point, Ja doesn't even have to think about that one. It's like, oh, and guess what? That was the only three he made in the game. He hadn't made one yet. He was 0 for 3 from 3 at that point. And bam, it was almost like a back tap pass, right?
Brandon Rodman Clark, because he's been Dennis Rodman in the series.
Dennis Rodman, okay? And then Chris brought this up. Let's just see it, because when Ja goes to the free throw line with 8 seconds left, I'm just saying, please, Lord, give him one. Just I'll take one right now. And he'd already missed 6 in the game, and he made that one pretty cleanly. The next one's a little front iron, back iron friendly roll, but I'll take it.
You got a little tight.
A little tight. But those are huge.
Yes.
Which leads to the play of the game for the T-Wolves, which is, we got to see it one last time, because this is as sweet a strategic call in the sideline huddle and an execution of this play to Ant-Man. What a bounce pass, right on time.
Great pass.
Oh, what a pass. What a shot. And I'm rolling on